Hi, I'm Mark McPherson. And in this video I look at step 3 of my three-stepped or three-pronged approach to helping you, your colleagues and your staff put an end to bad behaviour and deal with difficult people. Now just to recap, step 1 is nailing the violation, being very clear about what it is a person has said or done that you find unacceptable. Step 2 is about tailoring a list of strategies which I have, which I'll give you. They're realistic and workable. It's about tailoring those strategies to meet that violation. And the third step is personalising your approach, because we all have different ways of doing things. We all have different mechanisms, rules, policies, procedures, etc. And even in some cases different laws. So let's look at this step 3. First thing we need to look at is the goal. Different people on different occasions in different situations will have a different goal. For example, sometimes it might be to tell somebody that their behaviour is inappropriate and you want them to change. On other occasions you may not want to tell that. You might want to just change their behaviour without having to actually directly tell them, and you can do that sometimes. On another occasion it might be to say to somebody, Mr. Jones, this is the third time you've used the F word or whatever happens to be, whatever the violation is in this conversation. This conversation is now ended. I did warn you. The conversation is now ended, you have to leave, or whatever it happens to be. So it depends on what your goal is. And only you can really work out how bad a violation is, how many times it's been repeated, how important it is to you. Only you can really work out what your goal is going to be in your step 3. So that's important. Another thing is your power. Now different people have different amounts of power, and power is not a dirty word. It's about your position, what authority you have, for example, on regarding the other person. Sometimes you have a lot of authority, sometimes you have very little, if any at all. There's very little you can actually do to somebody when their behaviour is inappropriate. It's also about what rights and responsibilities you actually have in a situation. It's also about your level of skills, what information you have, what information you want from them. If you don't want anything from them, you can maybe dismiss their behaviour and move on. But if you actually need something from them, then you might need to continue the conversation, so a different strategy would be needed. Let's also look at decision making, because only you can work out when deciding what you're actually going to do and which strategy. And one of the things you need to look at is the ramifications of taking particular action. Sometimes people want to take a particular action, implement a particular strategy, but they go, well, on this particular occasion the ramifications might be a bit high, the possibility of those ramifications, negative ramifications, so I'm going to let it go on this occasion. Now I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing, but let's face it, it's something that sometimes people do. And time is one of those things in decision making and power as well. If you've got lots of time on your hands, it's a very different matter if you're rushed and you may not be able to implement certain strategies. Now, the last issue I think is really your personalising your deliveries. We all have different skills, the way we handle situations, and it's about personalising that to fit your particular skills and needs at the time. Why don't we leave it there? I think that's probably enough on my third step. Remember, nail the violation, tailor the strategies, and then personalise your approach. And I think quite often those three are missed out and people just look at this one in the middle. Here's the strategies, this is what you should use. Well, it's a bit more complicated than that, and that's a part of my approach to helping you, your colleagues and your staff put an end to bad behaviour and deal with difficult people. If you'd like to talk to me, and I hope you do, please just go to the contact page of my website, for example. There's quite a few ways you can get in contact with me there. Look after yourselves, look after your friends and family, and I hope to chat to you soon. All the very best.